right after we meet. Ayan na, we're recording. So, let's see. Good question. So everybody knows Google, right? Pero not everybody knows Google Doc. So, share lang natin, ha? Uh, so this is how Google Docs look like. So, exactly how MS Word looks like. Kaya na ganyan lang din siya. I use Grammarly, by the way, to check on some of the grammars for my account. This is a free account. So this is how Google Docs look like. You put the title here. Tapos, everything na meron sa Word, nandito rin siya. You have your fonts, you have your font sizes, you have your formatting tools, and everything. It's all in here. Well, the good thing with Google Doc is, auto-save siya. Hindi siya katulad ng MS Word na minsan pagka nag-shutdown yung PC mo, di ba, mawala yung save mo unless naka-auto-save ka. Pero Google Docs, it's auto-save. So whatever you type, nag-save siya every second. Plus, another good thing with that is this share button. Ito yung pinaka-importante sa kanya, actually. Let's skip naming. So yeah, this is a free account, by the way. So even on a free account, even on a free Google account, you get access to you get access to Docs, spreadsheet, and slides. So ako ang ginagawa ko normally if I am gonna share something. Let's say yung resume mo is made of Google Docs, right? So if you want to share that to the client, you just click on share, tapos of course you have to name your document, and then click on anyone with the link. Tapos, make them as a viewer, copy link. Tapos yun, papadala mo lang sa kanila yung link. And then they'll have access to that. So, that's not something you can do with Word before. Ngayon, obviously, you can do those na. Pero it's much accessible with Google Docs. I hope that answers your question, Doms.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. On your free time, again, try to explore Google Docs. And not just for Dom, no? For everybody, try to explore Google kasi ako rin when I started freelancing, I'm so used to using Excel, I'm so used to using PowerPoint na nung una ko siya nakita, I mean familiar na ako sa kanya, di ba? Pero medyo nanibago pa rin ako, and it's super useful in many ways. So if you have the time, or actually find the time to explore these options with Google. Okay. Any other questions before we proceed? None? Okay. Again, Dubs, thank you for the question. Okay. So again, going back to my niche, I'm with project management, so a lot of organization, right? Virtual for basic for the entry level virtual assistant, a lot of the things that you will do will mostly be email management. Email management, appointment setting. You will probably do calls as well. May chance na mag-calls kayo. You will probably manage kung may website yung client niyo, you will probably do WordPress as well. And then kung may social media accounts yung client niyo, you might also be asked to handle some of their social media accounts. So based from that, no, it's really an advantage kung marami kang alam sa VA. So it doesn't matter kung super skilled ka with something when you're a VA, pero mahalaga na marami kang ibang alam kasi pagka nag-apply ka, when you get interviewed, lamang ka na agad sa ibang candidates. Let's say I'm choosing a VA, right? And then merong applicant na may alam sa Google Docs, may alam marunong mag-edit ng photo, marunong mag-video edit, marunong mag-manage ng social media, advantage na agad yun. So obviously, yun yung kukunin ko. So the more skills that you have, the better or the higher your chances of getting accepted. You don't have to learn all skills, pero again, some of the things that you will be required is most likely email management and appointment setting. So how will you deal with those, right? Try managing your Google account. Your own Google account. So, kung wala pa kayong Google account, let's go to Google Mail. Pakita ko lang sa inyo how I do it para may idea kayo. This is my Google Mail. When I say manage your own Google account, ito lang siya. So yung inbox ninyo, andyan lahat. As you can see, nandito yung iba kong mga application kasi hanggang ngayon nag-a-apply pa rin ako. And yun naman talaga yung ginagawa sa freelancing. Apply ka ng apply ng apply at kaya. So manage your own inbox. Make some folders or labels. As you can see here, may folder ako for online jobs PH, may folder ako for Upwork, some of the clients that I manage. So these are the, some of the clients that I manage. So being organized like this is part of my job as project manager. If you can do this yourself, it will help you totally. And, it's even an advantage during the interview. Kapag in-interview ka, siguro, tanongin ka, yung inbox yung minamanage mo, you can tell the client. You manage your own inbox. May experience ako in managing inboxes. Hindi mo lang sasabihin na siguro inbox yung na-manage mo, di ba? Pero at least may idea ka na agad how to manage inboxes. When it comes to appointment setting, you just need to go to here sa calendar. And then, ito lang siya. Ito lang mag-set up. Ayan. As you can see, ito yung mga invites ko. Lahat yan ako nagsisend. We're not gonna talk about it in details. Try it on your own time. Try sending yourself an invite para may idea kayo how to do it because malaking chances na if you're applying for a VA, you will be required to send invites. Okay. So we kind of brushed about the skills or some of the systems that we need in becoming a VA, no? Pero again, those skills, those experience that you have would not matter if you don't have a good front. Ibig sabihin, paano ka ba mag-a-apply, paano ka matatanggap? Remember, competition in freelancing is very, very high. Sobrang taas ang competition. And any advantage that you can get, you should take, right? Kailangan mo kunin lahat ng, kahit ang advantage na meron ka. And some of the 3 things you can get started in having an advantage is number 1, your resume. Second is your portfolio. Second is your cover letter. So let's talk about resume first. No? So for resume, there's only just one tool that I use really. I'm not sure kung meron kayong ibang ginagamit, pero ako I'm just again using one tool and it's called Canva. If hindi pa kayo familiar sa Canva, just go to canva.com. You can create a free account. And if you have a Google account, you can use that to log into Canva. So in Canva, just search the word. So ito yung itsura ng Canva pag nag-log in Canva. So ayan lang siya. And then search for the word resume. Resume. Damn. So some of the resumes here are premium, so hindi nyo siya ma-access, but you don't really need a very fancy resume. What you need is a detailed resume of yourself. So let's look at yung example. So, I'm not sure if this is free. Pero this is an example of your resume. Ayan. So ayan. So sa Canva, you can edit the name. So if you want to edit, so yung ina-applyan mo. So that's how easy you can get started with your resume in Canva. So ano ba yung mga dapat nilalagay sa resume, no? So definitely contact information, and I'll show you later kung ano yung template that I use for myself. Definitely contacts, I always put it at the top. Skills, tapos may percentage na ganito, it's not really recommended. And the reason behind that is because wala naman talagang way para ma-measure yung skills mo in these specific skills. So adding this in here would not make any value for you. It will not give you any advantage. Work experience, yeah, you can put it here, maybe up to college level. If you have a master's or doctorate degree, put it there by all means, as long as it's related sa ina-applyan mo. But not many people ask that. What's important is itong work experience. So work experience, as long as it's related, put it there. It's also important that you put the year, the name of the company, and maybe put in a little bit of bullet points kung ano yung ginagawa mo with your role. So, ano yung tsura ng resume ko? Here. So, this is how my resume looks like. So another thing pala, so you notice sa resume ko, I have my picture in there. So, not many people recommend having a picture sa resume, pero ako I put it there anyway. Why? Because again, you want to have that advantage, right? Among all the other applicants, you want to have that advantage na yung ibang applicants, nagpapasa pa lang ng resume, ikaw nakita ka na ng client, kahit sa picture man lang. Diba? Make sure, kung maglalagay ng picture, make sure na, of course, it's smiling, it looks professional. Otherwise, makakasama yung picture, imbis na makabuti sa application mo because, believe it or not, people will judge you based on the looks. Or at least will judge you kung babasahin ba nila yung resume mo or hindi. It happens. So, what do I have here? So, my name, sobrang laki. Tapos, I have my contacts in here. I have my email, address. So, yung address, as you can see here, hindi naman siya yung complete na address. No? So, don't put yung buong address niyo na yung street. It doesn't matter kasi virtual naman tayo. So, the clients would not really care. What's important is the city, province, and then the country. If you live in Manila, of course, much better kung ilalagay mo yung word na Metro Manila or Manila kasi mas kilala yun ng mga foreign clients, right? And then I have my WhatsApp phone number here. So let's talk about that very briefly now. So what I also did when I started freelancing is, aside from setting up my resume and all that, I made sure that kapag nag-apply ako, the client will be able to contact me in many methods. Ano ibig ko sabihin? Kumbaga, may mga clients na mas preferred na kausap ka via Skype, may mga clients na mas preferred na kausap ka via Zoom, may mga clients na mas preferred ka kausap via Google Meets, may mga clients na mas preferred ka kausap via WhatsApp. So I made sure na kahit anumang platform yung gamitin nila, I'm available. Kasi, again, it's an advantage, right? If the client knows that I'm using WhatsApp, tapos siya gumagamit siya ng WhatsApp, I mean, it's already an advantage for me because the clients know that I'm already familiar with how to use WhatsApp. So if you can get yourself out there, use all sorts of communications, Viber, again, WhatsApp, Skype, LinkedIn, if you can use those, get yourself out there, all the better. The easier the client can contact you, the better. I'm not sure if I'm going too fast, pero if you have any questions at any time, just unmute yourself. Let me know if you have any questions. Yes, Doms.
Yes, sir. Since you are sharing dun sa WhatsApp, ano ba yung mas preferred or ano ba yung mas ginagamit ng mga client onshore? Is it WhatsApp or any specific like applications that they are using? Na para, kung halimbawa, sabi nyo nga, the more applications that you have, like Viber, WhatsApp, ano yung mas preferred nyo na based on your experience is ginagamit nila?
Okay. So a lot of my clients have found me in Skype. For Skype, you need a Microsoft account. So you need to create a separate account. Diba may Google account na kayo, may Gmail na kayo. You may have to create a separate account. I'm not sure kung ano na yung domain ngayon, parang outlook.com. I have vgmagwad@outlook.com to create my Skype account. Pero ayun, a lot of my clients use Skype when trying to contact me. Probably because it has a lot of features na parang Facebook Messenger. You can easily send a voice message. Kung kailangan niya kayong interviewin, madali mag-voice, yung camera, mag-video call, madali mag-video call. Tapos madali rin gumawa ng GC sa Skype. I mean, you can also do it in WhatsApp, pero mas maraming features kasi sa Skype. But again, you know, ang importante, mas you put yourself out there, right? Mas maraming platform na available ka for you to get contacted, na better.
Okay, sir. Copy that. Thanks.
Thank you. Uh, any other questions from the group? And let me know kung medyo mabilis yung pagsasalita ko. Last time kasi we did the webinar like this, parang umabot ng 2 hours. Pero this time I'm trying to keep it short to save everybody's time. Okay. If you don't have any questions, I'll just go over again dito sa resume ko what I have here. So, this is not something na nakikita usually sa Canva, no? Pero I put it here. What are my areas of expertise? Because, again, we're trying to tell the customer that we're a jack of all trades. Okay, that's a good question. So, sige, daanan muna natin yung tanong ni Cheryl, no? Since I think a lot of you does not have experience pa. So, Cheryl's question is, paano kung wala po experience? When you say walang experience, did you mean walang experience sa freelancing? Or totally fresh grad ka na wala kang experience? Okay, so newbie ka sa freelancing but meron kang ibang work na na or meron kang ibang full-time job before, right? Is that right? Okay, very good. So, it may sound silly, pero if you're starting out, Cheryl, it's best that you put everything na meron ka dito sa 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 resume mo. Again, itong areas of expertise na section, kung nakikita niyo areas of expertise na to, I put it there para, halimbawa, ang ina-applyan ko is project management. Halimbawa lang, ha. Pero nakita nung client dito na, ay, marunong din pala si James ng process improvement. Ay, marunong din pala si James ng SEO. Ay, marunong din pala si James ng GMB optimization. You get the idea? Parang mas maraming option na nakikita si client. So, I'm applying for a VA, pero nakikita niya na agad yung iba kong qualifications. So, for your case, kung wala kang experience sa freelancing, you can put any skills that you have, no matter how basic it is. Pwede mo ilagay dito na may, ano ba nilagay ko dito? System familiarity. So, that's another thing, Cheryl, no? Kung wala kang masyadong experience na pwedeng ilagay, yes. Kung wala kang masyadong experience na ilagay, try mo bumawi sa mga systems na familiar ka. So like this, oh. So ako nilagay ko lahat ng familiar ako na systems because again, this is an advantage. If the client sees na familiar ka na sa mga system na to and related to doon sa ina-applyan mo, malaking chance mo matanggap. Hindi po ba hinahanapan ng certificate? That's a good question. So the reason why that's one of the reasons why this webinar is free, because certificate is not necessary. I mean, it is an advantage, yes, kung may certificate ka. Advantage in a way na nabuboost yung moral mo, nabuboost yung confidence mo sa sarili mo, because you know yourself, you're trained, right? Alam mo sa sarili mo na may certificate ka. It boosts your confidence. Mas kaya mo mag-apply dahil nga may certificate ka. Pero sa mata ng client, the certificate, unless it's given by something authoritative like Google, Google yung nag-provide ng certificate sa iyo, or PMS, or it's a certificate na super highly known, then alam mo yun, that's the only time a certificate would make sense. Pero kung yung certificate is parang, I'm not trying to parang bring down yung ibang naggagawa ng online certificate, ha. I'm just saying na it's not that required. Okay? But if you're the type of person who requires parang, kung ikaw yung type ng person na parang mas gusto mo na super prepared ka for something, by all means, get a certificate. But it's not a requirement for any client. Maybe if you're applying for something specific, like maybe something sa medical field, o kaya something sa accountancy. Maybe sa mga ganun, pwede kang tanungin ng mga certification, but for something entry level as freelancing, project management, CSR, I don't think you'll be required to submit any certificates. Yes, yun. Cisco, Google, yun yung mga nagbibigay ng... So again, unless malaki yung domain or high yung domain na magbibigay sa'yo ng certificate, I don't think it matters. I hope that answers your question, Cheryl. May question ka pa before we proceed? How about po sa medical field? Oh, that's a good advantage. Kung sa medical field ka, you don't have to put in any certification. Meron kang NC2. Well, that works for you. That's even better. Wala kasi akong certification, that's why I don't have it here sa sa resume ko. I don't have any certifications, that's why I don't have it. Pero again, we talked about advantage earlier, right? Anything that would put you ahead of the game, anything that would put you one step against your competitors, do it. Ilagay mo. But you have to make sure na kapag nilagay mo siya, I mean, it's related to what you're applying, diba? If you're a caregiver, if you're a former caregiver, and then you're applying for accountancy, then, you know, it doesn't make sense. So there's no point putting it there. So mostly nurses yung ina-apply mo. Okay, so that makes even more sense. Maybe put in there how many clients or how many na yung mga naging patients mo, sa hospital ka nag-work, how long were you working with them, along with the skills that you did. No? Ano ba yung mga skills normally ng caregiver? Sorry, I'm not familiar. Pero if you could put that here, ano yung other skills na meron ka, then, you know, it's an advantage. We're throwing everything sa client, anything that they see that can be relevant to what you're applying. So for sure that will help you. You're lucky you have a background sa pagiging caregiver. Not many VAs has that kind of background. I wish I have a medical background because mas in demand yun, di ba? So you have a very good advantage. Make sure you use that advantage. Okay? Make sure you use that advantage by putting it out there sa resume mo. Make sure na kapag binasa ng client yung resume mo, kitang-kita agad na, oy, dating caregiver to, ganito karaming clients or ganito karaming patients na ina-handle niya. Maybe put in there ano yung pinakamahirap na patient na na-manage mo or ano yung what you like doing about your work. Things like that. And again, areas of expertise, what other skills you have, some systems ka familiar. Ganun lang naman yun eh. Kung wala ka masyadong experience, bawi ka sa ibang bagay. I was with Alorica Philippines. Dating APAC, naging EGS, ngayon Alorica na. So, this is, again, ito, kita rin pala dito. I was with Alorica. I started as an agent in Alorica back in 2008. Recently resigned, ngayong year lang, this March. And these are some of the clients I've worked with as a freelancer. So as you can see, a lot of the freelancing gig I did was mostly part-time. You know? So katulad nito, part-time lang, part-time. It's because I have a full-time job back then. Again, freelancing is best partnered with a full-time job para extra income for us, right? But again, if you want to try full-time freelancing agad-agad, that's totally fine. Totally fine as well. Nothing wrong with that. Mas marami kang time mag-apply to do it yourself. Ako, what I did is, even right now, what I'm doing is puro part-time ina-applyan ko. And you know why? It's para mas marami akong client na makuha. Okay? If I get a full-time client sa freelancing, I'll be stuck with that one client. So para na rin ako nasa corporate world. Di ba? Umalis nga sa corporate world kasi ayoko mas stuck sa isang client. Ayoko ng isang bagay lang ginagawa ko. I did part-time so I can work with many clients. Kasi yung mga clients na yun, iba-iba yung ginagawa, no? So at the same time, na-divert yung attention ko, pwedeng sa ibang client, medyo stressful, tapos mamaya konti, masaya na ako dun sa kabilang client. So alam mo yun, At the same time, nadadagdagan yung niche ko. Kumbaga yung skills ko nadadagdagan. Kasi nga marami akong client na kinuha through part-time. Lahat yun in-applyan ko. Tinry ko pagsabay-sabayin talaga. So, when I started, I don't have a niche. Hindi ko alam kung ano ba yung skill na meron ako. So, what I did is, I applied sa kahit ano. Tinatry ko applyan kahit ano. Tapos kung ano yung nag-work for me, doon ako nag-stick. Yes, Doms.
Sir, would you prefer like parang sticking to like maybe 3 to 5 skills na parang yung kumbaga para bang master mo siya. 3 to 5 skill set na yung talagang ima-master mo siya na parang pwede mo siyang paano bang what's the word for it? Parang
A master. Yeah.
i-master talaga. 3 to 5 niche. Parang ganun. Is it advisable or parang be jack of all trades na learn everything?
What happened kasi with me, Doms, is so so sa corporate, when I was in the corporate world, right? And this may be applicable din sa inyo. Let's say kay Cheryl, di ba? Siya nasa caregiving industry siya. So what I learned sa previous work ko, I made that as a stepping stone para magkaroon ako ng ibang skills. Anong ibig ko sabihin? So, remember I was an operations manager, right? So, for one of my clients, SMB Disrupted Marketing, I got accepted as an operations manager. But I have no freaking idea kung ano ibig sabihin ng marketing. Wala akong idea, wala akong background sa marketing, di ko alam kung anong ginagawa dyan. But the client trained me. He gave me stuff, gave me tutorials, pinanood niya ako ng mga video, he had me join webinars, he had me join all sort of coaching sessions. All because I have this other skill, which is yung operations management. That's what I did. So I started using one skill as a stepping stone for in having other different skills. So to answer your question, do you want to stick with 3 to 5? I mean, again, the more skills you have, the better, right? You also have to consider yung yung relevance ng skills na pinamaster mo, diba? You can't be a master of accountancy, medical, and law at the same time, right? It doesn't make sense. So if you're gonna master, let's say, a set of skills, you have to master something that is relevant. So let's say kay Cheryl, it's nursing, right? So ano pa yung pwede niyang i-pursue, which is like, let's say, caregiving, right? Ano pa yung ibang mga skills na related sa medical na pwede niyang i-pursue. For my case, di ba, if I'm gonna be a VA, I wanna learn social media management, diba? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, in demand yan right now. And it works very well with photo and video editing. Diba? Kasi marunong ka mag-manage ng social media at the same time, hindi na siya maghahanap ng designer, hindi na siya maghahanap ng photo video editor kasi nandiyan ka na. Diba? So make sure that the skills that you have are relevant to each other.
Yes, sir. Kasi the reason why I ask is because for me, I finished IT. Parang ang laki nung field ko na pwede kong
Masakop.
parang masakop.
Well, kung for your case, I'm sure maraming fields ang IT. And I'm not sure kung magaling ka sa lahat, but you don't really have to choose all of them. You can be a jack of all trades, that's totally fine, right? That's totally fine. Pero niching down to a specific skills makes you mas magiging madali yung pag-a-apply mo kung naka-niche down ka. Let's say, ano bang mga specific data analyst? May
Kasi sir, actually, nag-aral ako ng front-end developing saka coding, SQL.
SQL, okay.
Ayun nga, front-end, tapos, and then yung sa background ko, just to share it with you, sir. Ayun nga, na ako sa 11 years na din ako sa BPO. Handled siguro ang dami na rin types of accounts. Insurance, medical.
So you were in the
financial.
BPO as a CSR, not an IT?
Actually, sir, yun nga po eh. Nag-SME. Simula din ako sa CSR, SME, and then transition to
Mm.
medical, and then ngayon balik ako sa financial. Kasi yung pumutok yung COVID, I was part of the millions of Filipinos that lost their jobs. So ayun,
Oh.
ayun yung nangyari. So, ayun sir, kaya ako lang din natanong kasi I have a lot of friends that is actually mga kasabay ko halos na retrench. Then, siguro swerte sila, malas ako. Kasi I've been applying din. Meron na din ako sa online jobs na profile, Upwork, ganyan. Ang tagal ko na gana, parang 2-3 months. Kasi ang tagal ko din bakante eh. That's
2-3
siguro,
months
siguro,
is not really that long. I know people who have been trying to apply for freelancing for a year.
oh, yun nga sir, kaya siguro. Kasi yung iba, swerte, iba, kaya I decided na attend din dito. Siguro may mali dun sa format ko ng resume na ganito ganyan. Kaya, learning experience din naman.
Yes, definitely. And I'm glad you take the opportunity or the time to do it, no? So yes, so mga nagsasabi, mahirap po talaga, mataas yung competition. And what I'm telling you right now, what I'm discussing right now, gives you a little bit of an advantage, no? Pero it's not a surefire win na matatanggap ka. Even if you get accepted, you even have to do it, yung mga tasks na in-apply mo. But these things, reviewing your resume, having a portfolio, or reviewing a cover letter, will really give you an advantage because, like si Doms, diba? He got retrenched, and then for sure nung nangyari yung COVID, everybody thought of applying sa freelancing, right? Kasi lahat tayo nasa bahay. So everybody nag-create ng resume, nag-create ng online account sa Upwork or sa Online Jobs PH, but they never really took the time to check ano bang mali sa resume ko. Am I available kung ako kontakin ako ng client ko? Meron ba akong portfolio? Kapag ka nagsisend ako ng proposal, tama ba yung proposal ko? So those are the things that will still separate yung mga tenured na freelancer versus sa mga bagong freelancer. Because yung mga bagong freelancer, they don't know anything. I mean, bigla lang yan mag-a-apply. Sasabihin lang nila, hi, I'm interested with the post. Tapos sasubmit nila yung resume na meron sila, maybe the same resume that they applied with their previous job. You're not even editing it. So,
Ganun yun sa akin.
so now you know. Now
Yes,
you
sir.
know.
Yes, sir.
Now you know why. You're like the many people na parang yun nga, oy, wala tayong try natin freelancing, sabak agad, no? Sayang.
Kasi actually, sir, nagkagulatan talaga nung pumutok yung COVID eh. Ang daming nawalan ng trabaho. Parang
Yeah.
hindi ready yung mundo sa nangyari.
Yes. Actually, no one was ready for that naman. Sorry, balikan ko lang tong tanong ni Cheryl, no. Lagi po ba may client na nagbibigay ng training? No. So, hindi lahat ng client nagbibigay ng training. But a lot of the entry-level VAs na opening does have training. And the reason behind that is because the clients, they know na they're hiring for entry-level VAs. Kaya gusto nilang i-train yung mga VA. Okay? So, not always, pero if you're newbie sa freelance and you're applying for an entry-level VA, then most likely it will have a training. Even if walang training, you should still apply. Okay, try mo pa rin mag-apply. Yes. It's all about the resume and content. So let's move on sa resume. I want to show you one more thing. And this is not something that I really practice, but I think would be really helpful for everybody, especially kung yung niche na meron kayo is related to graphics, right? So I'm talking about an online portfolio. And this is something that, again, you can do with Canva. So you can use Canva or Google Slides. Google Slides is the PowerPoint version of Google. And then you can also try out free websites such as Wix or WordPress. Meron silang free account. Magkakaroon lang ng parang yourname.wordpress.com, parang ganun. Pero you can create your own website. So why is an online portfolio um an advantage, right? So again, if you're in the graphics field or accountancy or anything like that, no. Um some clients kasi are visual. And ako, I wanna keep my resume as short as possible. Kita niyo yung resume ko kanina, isang page lang. Pero sa portfolio ninyo, this is where you get detailed. Okay? If meron kayong mga ginawa in the past, like may mga previous work kayo, like itong mga graphics na to, you can put it all here. All, as in everything. Mas maganda. Mas maraming ma-check si client na previous work ninyo, mas maganda. So this is where you throw in everything else that you have. Kung may media, may mga pictures kayo, for Cheryl's case, no, since she's a caregiver, and palagi kong binibigyan ng example si Cheryl because siya lang yung nagbigay ng niche aside from DOMS. Maybe Cheryl can give a photo of her and her patients, 'di ba? Showing na alam mo 'yun, ito yung isa sa mga patients na minamanage ko. This is the hospital where I work. So alam mo 'yun, it gives the clients a visual representation of your resume na ay totoo nga talaga yung sinasabi niya. Totoo nga talagang nag-work siya as caregiver. Totoo nga talagang galing siya ng IT. Alam mo yun, it gives more meaning to whatever you're saying. So think of it as parang a compilation of the things of your experiences na relevant dun sa ina-applyan mo. So of course, put a picture of yourself. Maybe sana yung nakangiti, huwag yun nakasimangot. And then like here, quick background. And again, this is all free in Canva. Okay lang kahit free version yung kunin nyo, you can feel free to design it whatever you like. If wala kayong alam sa design, that's also fine. Again, maraming templates sa Canva, you can use it. Just make sure yung content is related sa kung ano mang ina-applyan ninyo.
Sir James?
Po.
Question lang po. Pag ganitong yung portfolio mo, just to set an example na lang po for myself. Kasi wala akong specific na para bang skill set na pwede kong, kumbaga parang mga sample jobs na pwede kong ilagay dito sa portfolio. Ano po yung pwedeng alternative na ilagay ko dito? Like, i-list ko. Since wala akong...
Are you referring to yung pagiging IT mo?
Siguro po IT
CSR.
and then siguro po yung ano lang, yung the work experience na lang siguro. Yun na lang po yung ano ko, tatanong ko before the portfolio.
So kung about CSR yan, then you're like me, di ba? I work in an office space environment, right? Hindi siya katulad ng graphics na meron kang mapapakita na solid na ito ginawa ko to, right?
Yes po.
Wala siyang ganun. So for those cases, what you can do is list down all the niche all the line of businesses that you manage. You mentioned nag-accounting ka, nag-farm financial ka, nag-medical ka, may mga background ka na ganun, di ba?
Yes,
so
po.
maybe list down, wag mo ilagay yung name ng client ha. Maybe list down yung mga niche, yung mga LOBs na na-handle mo, how many, no matter how many they are, lagay mo lang doon. So sabi ko kanina, mas maganda may visual representation, no? Pero I mean, okay lang naman kung mga words lang naman siya doon. Pero if you can put, I don't know, maybe kung lalagay mo medical, maybe put in a generic medical image there sa portfolio mo, just so, alam mo yun, just so may visual representation.
How about sir, like the name of the company? Hindi ba parang redundant na yun kasi you do have that in your CV and then you're going to put it again in your portfolio? Or just like you said, sir, yung mga accounts na hinandle nyo, ano yung trabaho, yung parang ganun ba?
Okay, so definitely you should put in the company name, yung in-apply mo, yung company name, pero don't put the client's name. I mean, wag mo ilagay yung mismong account na hinahandle mo ha. If it's
Alright,
a
alright.
if it's a medical insurance, put in there medical insurance. Try to be as specific as you can. Kung kaya mo maging specific, maybe managing US medical insurance in 14 states in the US. Parang ganun,
Alright. Okay, okay.
di ba?
Copy, sir. Alright.
Tapos
Makes sense,
tapos
makes
maglagay
sense.
ka ng ano, tapos maglagay ka ng mapa ng US, 'di ba? Maglagay ka ng mapa ng US na naka-highlight yung 14 na states na hinahandle na 'yon. I mean, it just adds so much visual representation and it gives the client the feeling na wow, nag-effort siya in doing his portfolio. Alam mo 'yon.
The reason
Uh,
why I asked, sir, kasi yung ano po, yung mga pinanggalingan ko ng companies is malalaking company sa US. Just to name a few, Wells Fargo.
all the better, right? Kung mas kilala sila, you can put the logo in your portfolio.
Oh, okay, okay po.
As
Noted,
as
noted, sir. Thanks.
as long as aware sila na ginagamit mo, I mean, again, kung sa kanila ka diretso nag-apply, that's fine.
Alright.
Quick question. Did you experience where clients ask for your sample work? Yes, definitely. May mga clients na nag-ask ng sample work from me for video graphics and editing. And that is the very reason of having a portfolio, guys. You don't want your client to ask you to give them samples. Bigyan mo na agad ng sample. Huwag mo na silang hintayin na tanungin ka na can you give me samples? Isaksak mo na agad sa kanila kapag nag-apply ka. Pakita mo na agad. Because again, you want to be a step ahead of your game. If you're confident with your portfolio, you don't want, remember, kung confident ka sa portfolio mo, think of it as parang a trump card. Parang ano mo siya, advantage mo siya, di ba? So bakit mo itatago? Bakit mo siya hihintayin tanongin pa ni client? Ibigay mo na agad yung kung ano mang advantage meron ka. And I'll show you later how hard it is to apply, gano'ng karami nag-apply para makita ninyo na sobrang important na yung first impression ng client with you is the deal breaker. It's not the skills, it's not the looks. Well, maybe yung looks. Pero it's definitely not the skills, pero yung intro napakahalaga niyan. Paano po if production worker? Depends anong klaseng production worker ba, and aside from being a production worker, do you have the necessary skills that is needed dun sa ina-applyan mo? If yes, then you should focus on that on your resume. Di ba? If there's anything lang, no, background, experience, history, hindi siya ganun masyadong binibigyan ng importance sa freelancing. And maybe this is something that would be helpful for you guys din kapag nag-apply kayo. Yung history, yung number ng experience ninyo, it's irrelevant. Walang pakialam yung mga client dyan. Kadalasan ng pakialam kung ano ka in the past. What they are after and what you should say during the interview is how can you help them. Huwag mo sabihin kung ano ka in the past. Because what you are in the past is not a guarantee na parang magiging successful ka with them. Ulitin ko what you are in the past is not a guarantee of how successful you will be with them. Okay? So instead of focusing on your past, focus on the things that you can do or contribute dun sa client mo para, alam mo yun, para ma-realize ng client, oo nga, no, yung skills niya pwede ko magamit, di ba? Pwede, explain mo sa client mo paano ka makakatulong para palakihin yung business niya or paano mo siya matutulungan on your day-to-day tasks. So it doesn't matter what your background is. It only helps you again to boost your confidence. Ako, ganun lang siya. Remember, I got hired for a digital marketing agency without any knowledge with marketing. It's because nabuo na yung confidence ko as operations manager. I'm very confident with that, right? I'm very confident with talking. Pero, am I confident dun sa ina-apply ko? No. wala nga akong idea sa digital marketing. But I used my strength, my experience sa interview, di ba? Pero hindi ako doon nag-bank. In-explain ko sa kanya. So dahil operations manager ako, kahit na wala akong alam sa marketing, pwede ko mapag-aralan 'yan. O pwede ko parang i-manage yung team mo as long as pwede nila sabihin sa akin kung ano yung kailangan kong gawin. Di ba? Pwede mo sabihin sa kanila, production worker ako in the past, pero as a production worker, kaya kong sumunod sa mga task na sinasabi sa akin at a very accurate detail. Parang ganun. Since production worker ako, super laser focus ako sa attention to detail. Magagamit ko to sa business mo kasi e-com ka. Halimbawa, e-com ka, tapos alam mo yun, importante na sa'yo na tama yung nilalagay na information ng client. Things like that, right? So you have to relate your experience and how it will benefit the client. So again, don't focus on in the past. Focus on the skills that you acquired and how it will help the client. Okay, so we're almost at time. I want to show you real quick lang. Remember, I told you guys I've been hiring people in the past, right? I've been hiring several VAs in the past. So this is an example of an application for a VA. So as you can see, yung inbox ko, 108. Diyan po karami yung nag-a-apply ng VA. Okay? And I won't open the applications na because these are personal accounts, these are actual live accounts. But I want to show you gaano ka-tight yung competition, right? So, and hindi na natin na-cover now. This will be part of the cover letter sana. That's gonna be part of our discussion. Yeah. Okay, sige. Total lang dito na rin lang tayo. Daanan na rin natin. So you have your resume, you have your portfolio. The next thing that you need to do is, of course, to search jobs, right? So online jobs page or Upwork or whatever. You found your dream job sa online jobs page or Upwork. Eto na, mag-a-apply ka na. Ready ka na. May mga contacts ka na, nasa Skype ka, nasa LinkedIn ka, and all that. Mag-a-apply ka na. Ano yung una mong sasabihin sa client? Because that's very important. So, first thing that you should do is to thoroughly read the job post. Why? Some job posts actually require you to include. So some job applications will have like a parang trap questions in them. So take a look at this. So basahin, pagka binasa nyo yung buong job post, diba? Ganyan, nakalagay yung shift and all that. Pero somewhere in the middle, bago matapos yung job post, it says here, to apply, please respond with the word Philadelphia included in the subject line of your email. So, two things here, right? Ibig sabihin, hindi ka mag-a-apply sa online jobs PH. You are required to send them an email, number one. Number two, on your email, you should have Philadelphia included on your subject. So, had you not read the whole job post, then sablay ka na agad, talo ka na kaagad. Wala na yung advantage. Lamang na agad yung mga ibang applicants sa'yo. Correct. To see if you're reading and following instructions. So, very, very important. Please take some time reading the whole job post. Especially kung talagang gusto ninyo yung job post na nakita ninyo na applyan. Make sure to read it. So we're done with that, no? And once you submit your proposal, regardless kung saang site yan, Upwork or online jobs page, those are the only two sites that I applied, by the way. Very important that you have a good subject. Ano ibig ko sabihin ng subject? So if you can see here, sa screen natin, no, ito yung mga subject ng mga applicants. We have application, VA needed for growing tech, let me be your virtual assistant, recruiting specialist application, VA application, blah, 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 job application, hire me, I'm the one, virtual assistant, VA application, VA application. So, you have to think, lahat ng applicant magsasabit ng ganitong klaseng subject. How will you be different? Kasi remember, if the client has 100 emails to open, he will not open all of it. Ang i-open niyan yung interesting yung subject line. Very interesting yung subject line. And what I found to be very effective sa subject line, let me show you a sample na application. So these are all, what you're seeing right now is my online jobs page account. As you can see, I have sent 124 messages. 124. in the span of what? Maybe 1 year? Sa 124 messages na yan, I got like 3, maybe 4 clients. And that puts me to a 3, maybe 4% higher rate. Ganun kahirap mag-apply. 3% high rate sa pagiging VA. And this is not to discourage you, right? This is to let you know na kapag hindi ka natanggap at kahit may mag-reply sa'yo, tapos hindi ka na pinansin ulit, don't be discouraged. Kasi ganun talaga sa freelancing. You apply, pag may nag-reply, reply ka din. So, it doesn't start until you actually get started. Until binabayaran ka na. So, don't be down kung may mga client na nag-reach out sa'yo Monday, tapos Friday hindi ka na kinontak, that's fine. Move on. That's part of freelancing. So look at my subject line here. So pansin nyo, palagi nakalagay, 13 years experience, 13 years in management role. So for me kasi yun yung pinaka-advantage ko, kaya yun agad yung nilalagay ko. Hindi ko nilalagay na applicant ako for this position, no. Kasi, I mean, kaya ka nag-email in the first place, di ba? Kasi applicant ka, di ba? So, ang nilalagay ko agad is kung ano yung advantage ko. Subject line pa lang, 13 years ako, may management experience ako, lamang na agad ako. So, sa ibang nag-a-apply. Bubuksan ng client yan, panigurado. So, you have to think for yourself, ano ba sa tingin mo yung advantage mo? Yun yung gawin mo subject line nung application mo. Okay? And in every application that I have, it's only focused on 3 things. Number 1, my intro. Ay, sorry, 4 pala. Number 1, my intro. Sino ako? Okay? Sino ako, what I did in the past. Sino ako and what my skills are, right? Relevant skills. What's my relevant skills na sa ina-applyan ko? Again, benefits. How will these skills benefit the client? Another tip for you guys is this. You see this? So, nakalagay, primary responsibilities. Kita nyo itong part na to? Track and collect all rental payments. Enter all maintenance requests. Schedule maintenance. Be primary point of contact. Yang mga yan, minsan kinaka-copy-paste ko sa proposal ko. Kung hindi ko mang kinaka-copy-paste, kinaka-copy ko, tapos nire-rephrase ko. Para malaman nung client na talagang binasa ko. Para malaman nung client na, ito yung hinaharap kong skills, meron ako niyan. Sobrang meron ako niyan, sinama ko pa sa proposal ko. Sasabihin ko sa kanya, kaya mag-a-apply ulit ako dito, sasabihin ko, hi, my name is James. I'm an operations manager. I'm an operations/project manager with 13 years of experience. I have experience in tracking and collecting rental payments. Of course, don't lie kung wala kang experience, diba? So I have experience in entering maintenance requests in tracking systems. Kung wala kang experience related dun sa binabanggit ng client, don't put it. Pero kung kaya mo siyang i-relate sa experience, like ako, wala akong experience in maintenance request, di ba? Pero sasabihin ko pa rin sa kanya na I have experience entering data to tracking systems. Kuha ninyo yun. So yung reply ko sa kanya hindi related sa maintenance, pero sinabi ko pa rin na kaya kong mag-enter sa tracking system. Kasi yun yung hinahanap ng skill. Diba? And again, magandang subject line, inopen na ng client, nakilala agad ako ni client sino ako by introducing myself. Binanggit ko sa kanya na binasa ko yung buong post niya kasi nandun yung mismong post niya. Nandun yung sinabi ko yung mga qualifications sa hinahanap niya. Like tracking system, rental payments, and all that. Sinama ko, di ba? So alam ng client na binasa ko yung message. The last thing you want to put there is CTA. So CTA is short for call to action. So never leave your proposals hanging. Ibig ko sabihin, oo, nagpakilala ka. Oo, sinabi mo kung ano yung mga benefits mo, oo, sinabi mo ano yung mga skills mo. Pero ano yung ending ng proposal mo? So ako, I always end my proposal with what? Silipin natin to. Oops, not that. Maybe this. Ito. So ito. If these are skills and experience you needed, then let's connect. You'll be surprised how something as simple as this will will be very, very helpful for you. It gives the client an assignment for them to do and to actually contact you. Diba? And it's very effective. Give the client an assignment para kontakin ka. Don't leave them hanging na parang, okay, sinabi mo kung saan ka magaling at ginagawa mo. Actually put something in there for them to do. All right. We are over by 3 minutes. I hope you guys learned something. Did you guys have any questions before we end the webinar, or do you want to do this again? Do you think it's
Dami pa sana,
helpful?
sir. Kaso, bitin yung oras. Pero very helpful, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Glad I was able to help. So itong webinar again, it's totally free for everybody. It's recorded, so I will share it to you guys. If post ko siya mamaya, tas maybe you guys can send me your email addresses. I can blast them all to you. Para magkaroon kayo ng copy if you wanna go back. Again, this webinar is every week. We do this every week. We're just really trying to help out yung mga ka-virtual natin, no, and starting their freelancing career, because I know it can be tough on the when you're really starting, and it really helps, seeing everybody else's na na nagtatry ng very, very hard like you in whatever you do. I hope you all get started right away with some of the things the pinag-aralan natin or we discussed today. And it starts with really finding time to dedicate yourself na gusto ko talaga mag-freelance. And surrounding yourself with people that believe in freelancing. And speaking of surrounding yourself with, people that do freelancing, join different Facebook groups na related sa freelance. It will definitely help you as well. Any questions? Last call for anybody?
Sir, question. Meron po ba uli next week? Kasi yung sister-in-law ko, nasabi ko sa kanya and she is interested in joining if there would be a next
Yes.
session next week. Will
We
it be like
will,
same time?
yes. So we started last week, no? Same time, 8 p.m. And I think this works best for everybody. I know it's a Sunday, pero again, if you really want to find time, you will find time
Yeah,
to learn this stuff. 1 hour lang siya per week, but I think it's really helpful to,
really helpful.
see
Yes, sir.
see everybody else. Ayun, so again, I'll send you guys a copy of this recording. I'll see you guys again next week. Siguro magtalagay tayo ng poll sa page natin on what other topics you want to discuss, and if you want to maybe discuss or if you have any questions what I do as a project manager, freelancing, I can share those to you as well. Just ask away kung may questions kayo, ha. Ayun lang, happy Sunday everybody. Thank you again for joining. You have a nice day. Bye bye.
Pato, pato, pato. 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 Pato.
Feedback.
Ano, walang yakang sabad.
Ano? Ano nangyayari? Kamusta ka naman? Hello, Nak! Kamusta? Honey, open mo nga ang open ang
Wait lang.
camera.
Hi.
Hello, Nak! Kamusta ka?
Hello po.
Ang ganda-ganda mo naman, manang ka sa ninang mo.
Parang hindi naman. Galing-galing daw ni boss, sabi ni Andrew.
Galing ni boss. Siyempre, para sa akin eh.
Nakataba. Galing ka. Punta ako sa office niya ng Tuesday.
Saan?
Sa office niya ng Tuesday, manggugulo lang ako ng umaga. May pasok pa si,
Si Jess? Ay, gabi pa
Gabi
naman pasok nila eh.
gabi. Manggugulo ako.
Bakit umaga?
Hapon.
Hapon? Asa na si AJ?
Ha?
Ano ginagawa mo pa to? Hi, AJ!
Sa Mateo.
Ano ginagawa mo? Andiyan si Jess ah!
Totoo?
Oo, nagbakasyon ng lola mo, birthday daw ng ina niya.
Dito kami kasi dito may sakit sila.
Oo nga. Kumusta?
Pwede nang maaga-aga yung link next time kasi hindi mo para makapag-share sa iba.
Andun talaga yung link sa ano eh. Sa page eh.
Talaga ba? Siya.
Okay, sera pa. Sige na, saglit lang. May ginagawa si boss yung mga ka-spot ko na. Bye-bye. Love you, mama. Chup-chup.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Parang, naku, Adeng. Nandito na. Si Tabatchoy.